Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for Tuesday, March 19th, the feast day of St. Joseph's. We're going to begin with the year 1279 and a Mongolian victory at the naval battle of Yamen. It ends the Song dynasty in China. 1644, 200 members of the Peking imperial family and court commit suicide in loyalty to the emperor. 1863, a 99 Confederate cruiser SS Georgiana is destroyed on her maiden voyage with a cargo of munitions and medicines, which were then valued at over $1 million. So already in 1863, the value was $1 million. You can imagine how much it would be today. The wreck was discovered exactly 102 years later by a teenage diver and pioneer underwater archaeologist, E. Lee Spence. So in 1965, it was found. 1920, the U.S. Senate rejects the Treaty of Versailles for the second time, refusing to ratify the League of Nations Covenant and maintaining isolation policy. 1932, the Sydney Harbor Bridge is opened. And 2003, airstrikes by an American and British-led coalition signal the beginning of the invasion of the war in Iraq, without the United Nations support and in defiance of world opinion. Famous birthdays: David Livingstone, Wyatt Earp, Adolf Eichmann, Jiang Qing, Harvey Weinstein, and Bruce Willis. Would you believe the wreck of the SS Georgiana, which was valued at over $50 million, is said to have been the most powerful Confederate cruiser discovered by then teenage diver and pioneer underwater archaeologist E. Lee Spence exactly 102 years after its destruction, was found on this day, March 19th, in the year 1965. Famous weddings: 1918, jazz musician Louis Armstrong, 17, weds Daisy Parker, 21. 1924, American poet Edward Estlin, also known as E.E. Cummings, marries his first wife, Elaine Orr. The marriage lasts less than 9 months. And 1956, author Aldous Huxley, 62, weds musician and author Laura Archera, 45. Famous divorces: 1976, Princess Margaret separates from the Earl of Snowdon after 16 years. And 1996, Winnie Mandela divorces Nelson Mandela after 38 years of marriage. That one had kind of got me. I just felt like she deserved so much more. I guess it wasn't meant to be. It did get me though. You know, like after all those years that she not only supported him and like defended him, but basically fought his fight. She was the revolution while he was in jail. And then for him to come out and get with some lady that no one knew of, it was just bizarre. In any case, famous deaths on this day: Ibn Khaldun, author Balfour, Arthur C. Clarke. So 2 Arthurs. Paul Scofield is the last. Paul Scofield was an actor, English, famous for A Man for All Seasons, Quiz Show, and The Crucible. He was born on January 21st in 1922 in Birmingham, England, United Kingdom, and was an Aquarius. He died on March 19th in 2008 at the age of 86 of leukemia. Arthur C. Clarke was a sci-fi author, also English. He was the co-writer of the screenplay 2001: A Space Odyssey, one of the most influential films of all time. A lifelong proponent of space travel, Clarke was both an avid popularizer of space travel and a futurist. Later in life, he became the host of several television shows, such as Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World. He was born on December 16th in 1917 in Minehead, England, and was a Sagittarius. He died on March 19th in 2008 at the age of 90 of post-polio syndrome. Arthur Balfour was the first Earl of Balfour. He was a British Prime Minister and Scottish. He was Prime Minister from July 1902 to December 1905. As Foreign Secretary, he became famous for writing the Balfour Declaration, which proclaimed support for a Jewish state in Palestine. He was born on July 25th in 1848 in Whittingham House, East Lothian, Scotland, United Kingdom, and was a Leo. He died on March 19th in 1930 at the age of 81 of unremitting circulatory trouble. And Ibn Khaldun was an Islamic scholar, philosopher, and historian. He was Tunisian, a North African Muslim historiographer and historian. Khaldun is regarded as a founding father of modern sociology, historiography, demography, and economics. Best known for his book, The Muqaddimah, literally the introduction, or the Prolegomena in Greek, which was published in the year 1377. But most notably, the Muqaddimah laid out Khaldun's theories on the rise and fall of empires and his criticism of the 7 mistakes regularly committed by his fellow historians. The Muqaddimah influenced 17th century Ottoman historians like Haji Khalifa and Mustafa Naima, who used Khaldun's theories to analyze the growth and decline of the Ottoman Empire. 19th century European scholars also acknowledged the significance of the Muqaddimah and considered Khaldun as one of the greatest philosophers of the Middle Ages. He was born on May 27th in the year 1332. Of course he was. In Tunis, Hafsid, Sultanate of Tunis, and of course, being born May 27 makes him a Gemini. I said, of course, because of, like the writer and the philosophy, those are all very air signy things. He died on March 19th in 1406 at the age of 73. Bruce Willis is 64 years old. He's an actor. Full name is Walter Bruce Willis. He's best known for his role as John McClane in the Die Hard series. He has appeared in over 60 films, however, including Pulp Fiction, Armageddon, The Sixth Sense, and Sin City. He was born again on March 19th in the year 1955 in Idar Oberstein, West Germany, and is 64, a goat/sheep on the Chinese zodiac and a Pisces. Harvey Weinstein is a film producer, American. Along with his brother Bob Weinstein, he co-founded the Miramax Film Studio and the Weinstein Company. Together, they produced several award-winning films such as Pulp Fiction, Shakespeare in Love, and Gangs of New York. In 2017, after the New York Times published a report into Weinstein's efforts to cover up years of his sexual abuse against actresses and women employed by him, Weinstein was fired by the board of his company and was expelled from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Since then, in what has been termed the Weinstein effect, several leading Hollywood actors and producers have been accused of sexual harassment. Numerous other allegations of abuse have emerged against Weinstein himself. He was born on March 19th in 1952 in New York City, New York, USA, and is 66 years old, a dragon on the Chinese zodiac, and a Pisces. Jiang Qing was Madame Mao, or fully named Madame Mao, a Chinese communist and the wife of Mao Zedong. She served as Communist China's first lady and played a major role in the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 76. She also formed the radical political alliance known as the Gang of Four. She was born on March 19th in 1914 in Zhucheng, Shandong, China, and was a Pisces. She died on May 14th in 1991 at the age of 77 of suicide. Adolf Eichmann was fully named Otto Adolf Eichmann, and he was a Nazi SS officer and a war criminal from Germany. One of the primary organizers of the Holocaust, Eichmann oversaw the mass deportation of hundreds of thousands of Jews in Nazi-occupied territories to the death camps. After the defeat of Nazi Germany, Eichmann escaped to Argentina, where he lived until 1960. That year, he was captured by agents from Mossad and deported to Israel to face trial. His widely publicized trial concluded in 1962. He was found guilty of war crimes and executed by hanging. During his trial, author Hannah Arendt used the term banality of evil to describe Eichmann, who once said he would, quote, leap laughing into the grave because the feeling that he had 5 million people on his conscience would be for him a source of extraordinary satisfaction, end quote. He was born on March 19th in 1906 in Solingen, German Empire, and was a Pisces. He died on June 1st in 1962 at the age of 56 of execution by hanging. Wyatt Earp was an OK Corral sheriff, an American. He's often referred to as the central figure in the shootout in Tombstone. He was born on March 19th in 1848 in Monmouth, Illinois, USA, and was a Pisces. He died on January 13th in 1929 at the age of 80 of chronic cystitis. And lastly, David Livingstone was a physician and explorer, British. Popular national hero of the 19th century, Victorian Britain, Livingstone had a mythic status: missionary, martyr, scientific investigator and explorer, imperial reformer, anti-slavery crusader, and advocate of commercial empire. His meeting with H.M. Stanley on November 10th in 1871 gave rise to the popular quotation. He was born on March 19th in 1813 in Blantyre, South Lanarkshire, Scotland, and was a Pisces. He died on May 1st in 1873 at the age of 60. He was, the cause was allegedly malaria and internal bleeding caused by dysentery. And he was the last. So going to the dice, we are beginning with romantic dinner, party, and no. I guess you can party on a Tuesday if you like. No judgment from me. Spirit says massage. I could use one. My neck is hurting me. 29, so spiritual partnership. And email. Going to the cards, however, we're beginning with the 9 of Autumn, which is a kind of single card, or it can often be like a single feeling kind of card. You're spending time with yourself, not necessarily a partner. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. And opening to the Princess of Winter, who is loyal, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. The Princess of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and possibly, you know, a single, successful, or at least seen as successful woman, you know, very like ladylike and, you know, ladylike. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe her. Independent, 9 of Autumn. And the Dreamer. You are starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. Major Arcana card 0. The Dreamer is the Fool in the traditional tarot. This person, perhaps a woman, might be taking a leap of faith and again to start their own business or entering a new relationship or starting singlehood. For like, you know, maybe they've been in a relationship, they just broke up and now they're starting an adventure, a path by themselves. They're excited about that possibly. The Fool. And the Lovers. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. So yeah, we could definitely be going from single to love. And this makes sense with the dice and 29, spiritual partnership. The Lovers, like the Page of Air, which was here a moment ago, represents the sign of Gemini. And opening 2, Major Arcana card 18, the moon. This would also be the day before the full moon in Libra, the supermoon, full supermoon in Libra, which is the 20th. So maybe that's why this is showing up. But the moon in the tower represents the sign of Pisces. And, of course, the moon in the sky, Earth's moon in the sky, because there are many moons in the sky. But the one that belongs to the planet Earth rules the sign of Cancer. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. So, like, if you, whatever you feel, follow that, go for it. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. They're telling you to take this leap. Opposite the Fool, it's saying even if you don't have all the information, you don't know everything, just whatever your gut is telling you, whatever your intuition is telling you, do that and just jump. Universe will catch you. The moon. It's the Four of Winter. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring you the answers you seek. The Four of Winter can be about planning a vacation also. Rest, recovery, like the need for some sleep. And look, we were just made to see this. Maybe because you've been partying, you need to sleep. The Three of Summer, you have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. And it looks like a new opportunity is coming, a beautiful one about which we're going to be extremely passionate. A wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action, just like the Fool just told us to do. It's very possibly in love. 29 in the dice, the Lovers showing up, opposite the Fool, telling us to take a leap. And then the next card is the Ace of Spring. Or actually, the next card is the Four of Swords, where you got to think about something, make a decision. Maybe it's whether or not to leap. And then the next card and our overall energy is this Ace of Spring. So it looks like love is in the air for somebody. Possibly involving an air sign. And maybe more specifically a Gemini, with both the Page and the Lovers having shown up. I was feeling something about Gemini earlier, actually. And it may be connected to this reading because I was also thinking about like an independent 9 of Earth kind of female. And I heard that song in my head. Was it Patrick Swayze? I think it was a Patrick Swayze song. Just a fool to believe I'm anything she needs. She's like the wind, the air, of course. And I was seeing like a female air sign, not necessarily a Gemini, but that sort of, you know, well-to-do or put-together type of female that the masculine just doesn't feel equivalent. Not that he's down and out, but he just doesn't feel like he's on her level. He sees her very, she is, the words on the tip of my tongue. You know, just far more grand. That's not the word I was trying to think of, but just like far more grand than he sees himself. And he just feels, he just feels like I got to be crazy to think, you know, this woman will be interested in me. You know, she's smarter, she's better looking, she's got more money. I don't know, whatever. You know, she's sort of regal, something. I'm just throwing different things out there. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with money or whatever, even though it's the nine of Earth that I was feeling. But yeah, you may want to look up the lyrics to that song or listen to that song. I'm like 99.9% sure that it was Patrick Swayze who sang that song. And I guess it's called She's Like the Wind. But that's the line that I was hearing. Just a fool to believe I'm anything she needs. She's like the wind. All right, crowning the masculine. The 10 of Spring. You're working far too hard and the stress will soon become too much. reach out for help from others and take some time to play and to enjoy life. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, especially when you have this opportunity awaiting you, an opportunity that you may have had difficulty getting to. There may have been blocks and obstacles and stuff, and there may be some more ahead. The road could still be bumpy when the Ace of Winter shows up, but this is about a new opportunity also. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. And guess what's behind this also upright? That independent woman. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or a self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. So that could be coming your way too, masculine. Ace of Winter talks about having a brilliant new idea for maybe a business, as does this Nine of Autumn. And of course, the Ace of Spring could easily be that same opportunity connected to business. Does not have to be relationship. It could be relationship, though. It could be both, right? The floodgates could be about to open on you of abundance. All right, surrounding the masculine, it is Major Arcana card, the Star. So maybe something for which you have prayed. You asked the universe for this opportunity that's coming your way. You are about to take a big leap forward. Here goes this leap forward again. This is like the third time there's been a leap forward today. Worry will be replaced with optimism and fear with hope. Joy is coming home to roost. So where you've been stressed out here, this is going to go. And joy and happiness is going to come instead for you. Masculine subconscious. It is the Prince of Summer. Romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet, masculine. Somebody has your eye. And there may be a little bit of fear attached to that, and stress over it. Again, maybe because you don't feel you necessarily measure up. You may have prayed for this woman or man, really wanted them. But now that they're like here, it's like, what was I thinking? I got to be nuts to think I can be with this woman or with this guy. Major Arcana card, the Star, by the way, represents the planet Uranus and the sign of Aquarius, which it rules. This card is about getting what you've asked for, what you prayed for, what you put intentions on. It's also about communication, maybe online dating. If it's romance, it could be online dating or somebody you met online. It's also a healing energy, so it could be coming to help you with this stress too. The Prince of Summer, Knight of Cups, is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and is usually somebody making some sort of proposal. Proposing, we get together. Proposing, we go out. Could be proposing engagement. Could be something even further than that. Something really serious, but it's making some sort of offer, proposal. And here in your subconscious, you could be thinking about doing this, masculine, asking someone out or something, or considering maybe a proposal they've made to you. Crowning the feminine. The Two of Winter. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. This could be with regard to this proposal. Maybe you're awaiting a decision, or maybe you're the one that has to make a decision, depending upon who made the proposal, and that decision may be blocked, stuck, having hit a wall, an obstacle, because there's some sort of outside influences. Whether it's a friend, a relative, or just an ideology, a philosophy, society at large, that would say, this option isn't for you, whatever it is. Masculine, it's going to also, again, you know, I don't want to make you think it has to be romantic. I mean, the card even says likely romantic, but it doesn't have to be. This can even be, let's say, a job, a business, an opportunity for you to be creative, right? And to create something about which you're extremely passionate, something you could fall in love with. Like, you know, I'm in love with my job. I love my work, that sort of thing. Could be that too. Surrounding the feminine, the Nine of Spring, you've worked hard and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry. You'll get through them just as you have in the past. So those annoying challenges, again, could be the bumps in the road that come with an ace of winter. But it's still a new opportunity, so you should still take it and just keep forging ahead, you know, to persevere. That's the guidance. And the Princess of Winter is back. She's here, mirroring the Prince of Summer. So again, there could be something going on between an air sign and a water sign. Maybe specifically a Gemini or specifically an Aquarius. You know, with Libra being the third potential option. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. This can also be showing up here with regard to this decision, right? Princess of Winter in your subconscious here, helping to give you ideas, guide you as to, you know, what you should do there. Or if you're the one that's awaiting a decision, you could just be like focused on it and overanalyzing like an air sign. Crowning, the Five of Cups, womp womp. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties, like some sort of bump in the road that popped up here, so that you can move onward and upward. Right. This is about just keeping going if you do hit a bump. At the root, foundation, it is the Five of Autumn. Focusing upon the negative or worrying about money, or your career or funky relationships and lack and void can block your progress. Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's not the best time to start your own business or to become self-employed or maybe to enter a relationship. And now can be possibly not the best time to enter a relationship anyway, because it is Mercury retrograde. And here come these fives, right? These are the fives that have been showing up in the readings and all weekend. Let's use this to clarify the Five of Autumn to find out, for the majority, where the lack is. Because this can be connected to money and attached to a job. Or it can be with a relationship, a past relationship, or the way you grew up. You know, there's some daddy issues or commitment issues or abandonment issues or whatever that is making you afraid to enter, you know, this new relationship that God has the highest of intentions for you. So he's giving you something good. You don't think you deserve it, or you don't think it's the right thing. And you're being pessimistic here and, oh, woe is me. And this is doubt. Maybe like just a fool to believe I'm anything she needs. This is doubt. How could she possibly want me? Or how could he possibly want me? Because you're stuck in an old energy of where you had failed to manifest what was appropriate for you. So you did feel void. But let's see if they can show us if it more so has to do with money or a relationship. Well, so far they're not showing us. This is that decision again. And it's talking about the overanalyzing that I just talked about here. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to analyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring you the answers you seek. So this is still so far, even though they haven't told us what it's about yet, it's still so far about failure to have manifested what you really wanted and needed in your life. And so instead feeling void. So you don't want to repeat that mistake again. Let's try again. 10 of Autumn. This can easily be family or money or both. So maybe they're not going to give me anything specific. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. So again, it can easily have to do with family, with a mate, with money, with the material, with all the above. But I'd say, definitely in feeling lack with that, in that regard, whatever it is for you. And so that's what's making you fearful here. Let's take a look at the masculine's 10 of spring, although it appears to be connected to just not putting enough time maybe into himself, nurturing in his social life, and, focusing too much on other stuff. Yeah, it's worry. That's what's causing the stress, focusing on other stuff and maybe literally not getting enough sleep, which again, the 4 of winter can be about too. The need for some rest, the recovery, as can the star. It's a healing energy. Your worries and fears aren't real. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that of which you're afraid. Stop worrying and let go of fear, and everything will be okay. Masculine. And feminine, let's look at your 2 of winter and where you are indecisive. And yeah, it could very easily have to do with you taking on a leadership role, and you got to make a decision about that. If you're going to take back control of your life or allow somebody else to continue running you around. Or this could have to do with the divine masculine. He is the king of spring and represented in the tarot, inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up to a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused on the big prize. The king of spring is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. So feminine, I think that many of us are deciding or thinking on, pondering, am I going to get back in the driver's seat of my own life? Am I going to take back control, or am I going to just let, myself be led by the seat of my pants and people take advantage of me? That's what's going on here, as connected to this foundation and this feeling of lack and, just not having any control. And we'll look at the 5 of summer that's in between the 2, and then I'll do the advice. And it's another 4. They really don't want to give me any information. This again can be, as it relates to a relationship, you may need to work on your relationship, or you may have fears about it, and you got stuff you got to talk about. If it's a job, it's probably a job you don't like very much. You're just doing it because it pays the bills, but it looks like another opportunity is coming that you should be, jump at, and maybe you're a little bit afraid. You're afraid to, people like to stay with the devil they know. So you're afraid to shake things up. You're afraid of change. You're afraid to do something different. But it is time for you to do that. Be cautious about living a life of extremes, right? And just being stuck and not trying anything, or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus putting up walls that keep people out. Masculine, everything is going to be awesome for you. Yeah, this worry is really unnecessary. All you're doing is making yourself sick and stressed out. You don't need the worry. You've got the star here. You've got the Prince of Summer here. There is love. There is healing energy surrounding you. So this is of your mind's own design. So you're going to, whatever helps you to free yourself of that kind of energy, you should do it. And if you're not sure what that is, spend some time being social. Let me give you that advice. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition that you, for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. Some of you also may literally be having some instances of high blood pressure, or you got to go to the hospital, you got to go to the doctor or whatever. And it is a stress related health concern, and that too is going to work out well. But yeah, you need to recover. You need to, think about you right? This is a void. This is you falling apart, you becoming void. And, you know, there's family and friends that love you. You got to take care of yourself. And feminine for us, the Queen of Autumn. So if we were concerned about actual money and lack, again, that not a problem. Not a problem. We're getting the material, the money, and the ability to nurture ourselves and other people. Again, if it's also a romantic situation. But like the masculine, we're going to need to make time for those we love too, and not just focus on, you know, work and no play. Thoughtful, caring, creative, ingenious is the Queen of Autumn. She's also a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. You will be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person, right? And none of this, right? None of this, oh, woe is me, or none of this, like nothing good ever happens to me, so it's not going to happen now, or, you know, I just feel lack, I just feel miserable. Again, I'm always broke, you know, and speaking or thinking negative stuff over yourself, because that's what you'll be in danger of manifesting. And this is what you have an opportunity to manifest, or this is who you have an opportunity to be, this Queen of Autumn. I failed to look at the card in the middle. Isn't that crazy? The heart of the matter was the Three of Spring. Stop to take time to review and make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you may also need a little patience for the next phase to play out. So don't expect things to happen overnight either. Let's see what this abundance is tied to, because it can also be a party of three and or love triangle. Aww. It is about some sort of partnership. Could be business partnership, could be romantic partnership. Sitting here with the Prince of Summer, you know, crossing the Prince of Summer and sitting next to the stars, something for which the masculine has prayed. I think for a lot of them, this is romantic and maybe about ending a love triangle or a party of three and instead moving into two. And so that may be what's on his mind and what has him kind of stressed out. But it's all positive, and it works out positive in the end. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships that have been in distress. So like maybe one of these. That's why you're feeling pessimistic, but it can still be saved. Don't give up is what this says. And it's sitting here for the feminine next to the Nine of Spring, which also says don't give up. You've put too much into this already, and it's worth saving. It is of value to you. You are of value. Your happiness is worth saving. And we'll just do one last card because they're giving us all these up life. Just boom. And it is awakening. And they gave us another one. Every time I get greedy, they say, here, you want to test it? You want to try us? This is Major Arcana card 12, the Hanged Man. Look at things in a different way and all will make sense. Don't worry if your progress is halted. So this is another thing that's warning us that something may slow down. We may feel like we're in limbo, and there's a need to be patient when this card shows up too, especially as it relates to love and like soulmate relationships and things. Yeah, the pause is temporary and everything's going to get moving again. Major Arcana card, Awakening, is really the Hangman in the traditional tarot. It represents the sign of Pisces, and can be about spirituality and just thinking deeply. Pisces is the sign, Pisces and Neptune rule like higher love also. So I just feel like this is somebody focused on a really spiritual, a divine union, a really spiritual relationship. Whether it's spiritual work or spiritual love or both. And so don't try to push it and rush it. You know, take back control of your life, make decisions, free will choices, and then let the rest play out. and will continue to be greedy. There was another upright card. Now there are no more. It is Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. This is hashtag winning. You can successfully balance varying or opposing energies all at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're receiving. So you shouldn't feel like I'm a fool to believe I'm anything she needs. I don't deserve this. And you shouldn't feel like a pessimist. You shouldn't feel, unworthy. You shouldn't be feeling lack. You're a winner, is what the Chariot says. Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot represents the sign of Cancer in the tarot. Can be about planes, trains, automobiles, like any form of transportation. It is about movement, moving, travel. And more importantly, again, it's about victory. It's probably the highest card of victory in the tarot. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the daily reading. I'll be back tomorrow. Namaste.